Right then, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Toon Tuesdays, your weekly roundup of Newcastle United news. Another video from the car. We are out and about today, full of busy on the Tuesday. Hope you guys are all having a good start to the week. Obviously, for us Newcastle fans, it wasn't a good end to the week as we lost 1-0 against Chelsea. And I say lost 1-0, I think we were robbed, to be honest. And if you haven't seen the video I did yesterday, be sure to go and check it out, because I went through all of the VAR stuff, to be honest. I obviously spoke about the Murphy incident that was a blatant penalty to anyone who watched it, except the VAR assistant and referee on the field. To be honest, how the ref's not seeing that in broad daylight is terrible. And then the fact that this guy in a box with 9 different camera angles also doesn't get it is beyond me. But we are not going to talk too much about that today. As I say, if you want to hear more on that and about VAR in general, the fact is, for me, VAR at the moment in the Premier League is ruining its reputation. It genuinely is. Those kind of fouls, or it wasn't even a tackle, it was a wrestling move. The fact that that isn't getting seen is mad. And you can look back at the Rodri handball against Everton not too long ago. How that wasn't given is mad as well. But as I say, VAR, if you want to hear more on that, look at the video from yesterday. But as I say, in terms of the Newcastle performance against Chelsea, I thought we were good. I was obviously a little bit worried going into this game. You talk about the fact that Saint-Max was unavailable at start. Wilson's still injured. Trippier's still injured. Joe Linton was injured. Willock and Shelvey both out through illness. You're literally looking at 5+ starting players unavailable for the game against the current Champions League winners. Eddie Howe goes with 5 at the back. I wasn't worried about the 5 at the back. It's unlike Eddie Howe to play 5 at the back. But again, when you've got that many players out, we needed to find a solution. And Eddie Howe came out after the game and quite literally said we didn't have enough centre midfielders to not play 5 at the back. My only question going into that game with 5 at the back was, how are we gonna play in this game? It's been a very long time since we've seen 5 at the back. It's very unlike Eddie Howe to play a deep line. You know, it wasn't really what I was expecting. But as soon as the game started up, although we had 5 defenders, we didn't sit back, did we? We pressed, we went for it. We really, you know, Chelsea are a quick press team with a lot of energy. And going out from the start of the game, we were trying to match them. And we look good. You know, you look at there's a graphic which actually shows, you know, where our players spent the most of the game, and we were in the middle. It was all along the middle. The defensive line was probably slightly further back than maybe normally it is, but that'll be the case with the 5 at the back. But generally, we were playing at the halfway line, you know, and you know, Chris Wood and Almiron and Murphy like spent the majority of their time in the game in their half of the pitch. You know, so we were pressing, we were pushing, and we had a game plan, obviously. The game plan was win the ball as high up the pitch as we can, because we know we aren't going to have a lot of the ball against Chelsea. Let's win the ball high up the pitch and try and create that quick chance. And we did that a few times. You know, look at the first half, we were the only team to have a shot on target through Almiron. So, yeah, again, that's why, for me, we were robbed in that game. And don't get me wrong, the Havertz goal at the end was quality, to be fair. It was a very good finish. And look, you know, if you're a Chelsea fan, at the end of the day, it's 3 points and you celebrate it. For us, it's the officiating in this league, which isn't good enough. But as Eddie Howe said at the end of the game, it might be the end of the unbeaten streak, but I do not believe those players will walk away with their heads down after that game, or at least I wouldn't. As I say, if there's anything to blame in that game, it is not Newcastle. I thought we played well. And we now move on to an Everton game on Thursday. Our 3rd away game in a row. It's actually the third of 4 away games in a row, because the Crystal Palace game, which was due to be played this Sunday at St James's Park, has been cancelled. or postponed, I should say, because of the FA Cup, which means we have no home game for a very long time. And it actually opens up a space of like, so from Thursday, there's no game at the weekend because of the postponement. There is no game the week following that. I'm actually heading off to Spain in that week because there is no game. And then there is a game after that, which is the week after that, which is against Spurs. Again, it's away. But it means there's like a 17-day gap. And because of that, Eddie Howe is taking the lads some more warm weather training. And you know, why not, to be honest. It was obviously questioned slightly when they went away on the last week of January. But, you know, Murdad and the guys who stayed in the country got the deals done in January. We've just come off the back of a 9-game unbeaten streak, and we've got some time to use. So if anything, is maybe a little reward of how well the lads have played over the last 2 months. And then at the same time, when you've got that time to go away, you know, why not do it? And again, we'll see what happens with that. But talking about the Everton game this Thursday, I've heard Jamie Carragher talking about this one. Obviously a Liverpool player, but a lifetime Everton fan, has said that he believes it's the biggest game in the last 20 years for Everton. Obviously, they are in a very tricky situation right now, on very, very poor form. Frank Lampard is not finding a tune with this Everton side, and I think they are 1 point ahead of the relegation zone right now. So they are, and their fixtures turn as well. You know, you talk about, you know, obviously Newcastle are in a much better place than we were a couple of months ago, but they will still probably see this as, well, they're going to see every game, to be honest, as a huge chance to pick up points because they are in that position where they are desperate for them. And the thing is, following the Newcastle game, Everton's fixtures start to change. They start to go into a really tough run of fixtures, and that is, you know, we haven't got that long left of the season, you know, and that's why Jamie Carragher is calling this, you know, the biggest game they've had in 2 decades. Because of how close they are to the relegation zone and what happens with their fixtures, you know, in a very short time period coming in to the end of the season. You know, in fairness, you know, Newcastle fixtures are going to change soon, as I say. Everton, then it goes into Palace, and then by the time we're going into like end of April, May time, we're looking at, I think it's Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool before the Burnley on the last day of the season. So again, Newcastle have had a fantastic run at a fantastic time, because had we left it to those games, I would have been getting a little bit worried as well. But I do think where we are now, with a couple more wins or maybe a couple more draws, I think we are about where we want to be. But I'm not going to celebrate at all until it's mathematically confirmed. But as I say, going into this one, you know, Everton have been on bad form, but they have some decent players on that side. But I do think, and again, we have to watch out going into this on Thursday, because we do have players potentially injured again. Who knows? Hopefully, maybe Saint-Max might be fit to start this game. Hopefully, we might have Joe Linton back as well. And you know, Willock and Shelby both ill. Hopefully by Thursday, maybe they'll be available as well. Hopefully we can go back to 4 at the back. Hopefully we can start, you know, and not to say we didn't do it against Chelsea, but let's get the ball rolling again. In terms of a prediction and what I think we need to go for 3 points, to be honest. I've seen a few people online saying that, you know, a draw is not a bad result. And I think in the Premier League, you know, a draw away from home is quite often not a bad result. But I would say with the form they're in compared to the form we are in, we should be looking at 3 points in this game. Although I will say, depending on what players are available, who's fit for this game, I think that will potentially be a factor going into it. But as I say, they're having a torrid time at the moment, and we definitely need to try and take advantage of that. But that's where I'm going to jump off this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know your prediction down below for the Everton game this Thursday, just 2 days away. Literally feels like we're flying through the games at the moment with these Thursday weekend games going on. But as I say, following the game on Thursday, we do have quite a long break as well. But let me know your predictions down below. Thank you for watching as always. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Videos every day about Newcastle football and everything else. I'll be back with my pre-match chat. I'll be doing the reaction to the Everton game as well. So be sure to keep your eyes out for that. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.